Hey everyone, hope you're getting a good start off to your week. I do want to just put the word out there in case you have not seen or noticed yet. There will be a hashtag trending event for 2/14. February 14th has kind of become it's kind of a holiday almost for the Snyderverse fan community. It has become a significant date over the past few years regarding, the Snyder Cut, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and there's usually some kind of fan organized event for that day. So this year, the trending event for 2/14 will be the two hashtags, two of the newer hashtags that have been used more recently that are kind of gaining some more popularity. One of them is Sell ZSJL to Netflix, and the other is Sell Snyderverse to Netflix. So I made a video not too long ago talking about this new topic of discussion that has kind of, been sparked more recently amongst the fan community. Just talking about, how awesome it would be to sell the Snyderverse corner of DC to Netflix. Well, it'd be more of a licensing type of thing, if you want to get technical about it. But that has been the more recent discussion, especially since the DC under James Gunn and Peter Safran is going to be a soft reboot of sorts, and we're not really going to have that continuity anymore. And it doesn't really, before we didn't, it was kind of like they weren't staying away from it, but there was still a chance, they were still using a lot of the same characters and cast members and everything. So there was sort of still the Snyderverse universe was still sort of there, but they were just kind of drifting away from it. Now it's kind of like we're not going to have that at all. Some of the cast members may stick around, but I think it's still mostly going to be recast for the main Justice League members and then bringing in other new characters that we have not even seen yet. So while there's, it's cool to see new characters and everything like that, the part of the DC slate that we have seen so far, this Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, they have shown us a little bit of what they have in mind. Not the whole slate, of course, not the whole Chapter 1, of course, because, they still want to save some announcements for future times. But what we have seen so far, I think there's maybe been a few that have sparked a little bit of interest amongst fans, but overall, it's not generating a ton of hype and excitement. I think mostly has to do with how they have handled the situation so far, not giving a proper send-off to the characters that we've had so far, Henry Cavill Superman, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, not having a proper send-off or closure before doing some kind of reboot, and kind of going, saying something and then kind of going back on it. Oh, well, not this exactly, well, not that exactly. So I think just kind of how all of that has been handled so far is not sitting well with fans. And yes, like I said, there have been a few projects I think they've announced that people are a little bit more interested in, depending on what people want to see, everyone's own preferences or things that they're interested in to see live action. But there's still a desire to see Henry Cavill, especially Henry Cavill's Superman, get something. I think we all kind of know that DC would, or WBD would not want to self-compete with their own properties. So, I'm sure Netflix would definitely be interested because they were interested in the Snyder Cut at one point, and so they now have a great working relationship with Zack Snyder and building out his two of his original IPs. So, of course, they would be interested. Why wouldn't they want to have some of the most iconic characters and an epic, just presentation that Zack has, delivered with, during his time at DC. So, of course, they would be interested. Obviously, it's the WBD/DC side of things that they know if they were to license, first of all, it would be like a ton of red tape, as people say, to even make that happen. It's not just like, oh, here you get a bundle of this character. It includes all of these characters and these, settings and locations and references. It's just one big bundle and you can use all of it. No. Obviously, each character would have to be licensed. And then if you want to use Apocalypse, or if you want to use the Themyscira, if you want to use certain terminology that exists, Krypton and Kryptonite, if you want to use all of these specific things that pertain to these characters in the DC world, there's a lot. It would not be just a black and white type of licensing situation. So that's first thing. Secondly, I think they know very well that it would compete with their own soft reboot universe, the DCU. Yes, they have done licensing deals with Amazon Prime Video for animation, some animated projects. That's very different from the Snyderverse being licensed to Netflix, or to anyone else for that matter. Netflix is like the streaming service. So to license out such a huge collection of characters that is so widely known worldwide, it would not look good it would not make them look good, especially because Snyder's, anything he did or does or has done with DC is going to just, it's not even a comparison, I think, to what they're going to bring with this new reboot. And I don't say that to hate on it prematurely. It's just, I think it just kind of goes without saying. We're not going to get even close to anything that we've gotten with Zach's stuff. I do think they will have some cool things. And I do think, it's not just going to be horrible, but I don't think it's going to compare to Man of Steel, BVS Ultimate Edition, Zack Snyder's Justice League. That is just a very high bar. And if Zack were given the chance to somehow continue that at another platform, would just continue to show the incompetence at WBD, even with a change in leadership. These hashtags are obviously to show the demand and the interest from fans' perspective. Just like with, Release the Snyder Cut, Restore the Snyderverse, it is to show the level of support amongst fans. And of course, this is going to be taking place on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, 214, make sure you use these hashtags to show your support. We also, I was always, supporting Release the Snyder Cut, making videos, tweeting about it. But I personally didn't think it would happen. And if I thought it was like, I'm going to support this and I want it so bad, but are they really ever going to do that? And I just thought that they wouldn't. I think their hand kind of got forced at that time, and they did. And so this is another one of those situations where I think it's highly unlikely. I still think it's worth showing support for within the fan community. So just wanted to share that and put the word out there on the channel in case you have not seen this on Twitter. But thank you guys for watching. Check out the links in the description, videos you might have missed recently, and the short section. Thank you for all the support on the channel. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.